ServiceNow.
Got the alert. Yeah, I haven't got my bow tie on today.
All right. Are we live? I can't tell.
Yep, right. We are.
Okay. Welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour for February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Dear goodness gravy, let us not relive this one over and over. I am joined with my compadres, Kreg Steppe and Chuck the Robot. Welcome,
Hola.
gentlemen.
All right. I am a robot. Please check the box.
It is absolutely going to be like this. All right. So this week, last week, we did some orchestration. We started with orchestration. We're going to do some more orchestration this week. I was telling the guys in the pre-show, this will be the last time because I've never been more nervous doing this. I have flops. I've been flop sweating all day. I'm so far out of my comfort zone. And again, this is a number of the people watching this probably have fought these fights. So I may be, of everyone on the call and watching it, I may be the very least experienced person in this topic. So
Dave, if you want to grow as a person, you need to push the envelope. So it's okay. Just relax.
The envelope has been, I've acted my truck to the envelope and I'm going crazy on it. All right.
I'm doing the same thing on my AWS, on my IoT lab for CreatorCon. I am so far out of my element, it's not even funny.
Yeah. All right. So, gentlemen, let's give it the longer introduction. Let's start with Chuck.
Hey, this is Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow. I've been with well, we'll go way back. I was a customer for a couple of years. I've been with ServiceNow since 2010 when we were a much smaller company that probably all fit in this room. And been focusing on the platform, custom apps, and integrations ever since. Having a great old time and happy to be here.
And Kreg?
Yes, I am a senior curriculum developer at ServiceNow, and I actually focus on making labs or providing the infrastructure to bring up those labs. So if you go to Knowledge or attend any of the training sessions that we offer, you've seen some of my work in the background. And I was not a customer at first, and Chuck convinced me to come on to ServiceNow, and I think Dave even pushed the button a little bit. So it's been 4 years. Actually, it'll be 4 years in April.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a widely known fact, but that we knew each other for like almost a decade before we all worked at ServiceNow. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
We're all early podcast nerds. So there you go.
Yep.
So what we're going to do now, and I'm Dave Slusher. I'm developer advocate in the platform business unit. So we're going to go around the horn for beers, and then I'm going to kind of flop my way through this orchestration stuff. And that's last week was my first week running the tool chain. This is my first week running it without Josh on the call. So there's a lot of avenues. There's a lot of degrees of freedom in this machine. So what are you drinking, Chuck?
We were so busy talking in the pre-show prep, I forgot to get something. So I will get something and give you a rating at the end.
All right. We'll go to Kreg. What do you have there?
I've actually got a double IPA water.
I've got a fine French press coffee.
I
got the mug from 2 public radio shows I haven't listened to in at least 10 years. And it's a French press actually in the mug, which is kind of handy. But I'm also got the Sweet Baby Java, so I'm doing a 2-drink thing.
He's double fisting it today.
I do like that. That's good.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the screen share. You guys cover me for a minute while I do this. I have a hard enough time finding anything in the new Skype UI. Is it
looking forward to going to Knowledge and CreatorCon?
Absolutely.
We're already starting the machine internally as far as presentations and preparation. Anybody who's been selected as a speaker will probably be getting a few notifications now.
Yeah, speaking of flop sweats and stress level, it's already starting.
All right. So here's what we've done since last week. I realized that I wanted to kind of get a good test going, but it was going to be tricky when the machine that we're actually running Live Coding Happy Hour on is the machine that I've got the mid server on. I'm trying to do that. So last week we suffered through kind of me misunderstanding how it worked, and I didn't realize that it would be easier if the mid server process itself was actually running on the machine I want to control. So that has a lot of good upsides. So ultimately, the goal would be that we would have the instance from which we want to control. You know, we want to begin the orchestration from an instance that we use to control a lot of stuff for the developer program. We would have the VM, the Google Compute VM, configured so that when it came up, the mid server would auto start. So that when it comes, you know, half an hour before the show, it would start up. The mid server would come up. It would report back to the instance, and then we could begin orchestrating with it. So that's kind of the goal. So I did not. I kind of misunderstood the setup. So I was looking for a third. I was looking for an intermediate Windows machine, not realizing the mid server would on the actual machine makes it easier. So, so that was like me. We were 3/4 of the way through it, and then I realized I'm asking the wrong question and trying to solve the wrong problem here. So now this is what we have, and let me try to get my windows organized here. So I've got, this is a remote shell into my mid server, which is also my Google Compute VM. I have a whole different one. I've done more or less nothing to it other than installed. I've installed I've installed Skype. I've installed OBS. So with that, we kind of are at the beginning of the process with this guy. So I've got now, let me bring this one over here. This is my personal developer instance. We have configured the mid server. So it's talking to the instance. Everything seems to be good here. Newly spun up, everything's fine. So at this point, what I want to begin doing is like walking down the path of getting to where I can start Skype and OBS from this instance. Okay. Now we'll walk backwards. And you said, Kreg, you had a suggestion that we start even before then, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, go back to your instance. Let's do a couple of things real quick. Since we just set this up.
Oh, default mid server. Is that what you're about to say?
The default mid server, and we need to update the. So if you go to just type in mid server over in the thing, and you'll see properties.
Properties. All right. Yeah.
Should see, not that one. I'm sorry. Type in mid server at the top. Servers dashboard. Let me pull my Evernote up. So if you go, mid server properties, which is what it's called.
That's what this is.
Type in properties at the top after mid server.
Mid server prop. Mid servers prop.
There it is. Just you're on mid server menu. It's like the 5th, 6th one down. Properties.
Yeah, that's what we're
seeing there. No, that's not what I was looking for. So click the little bucket icon on the nav bar beside the star.
I think that's folders.
Folders. I was going to say archive, but yeah,
a box of file box.
Yeah. So
all right.
Down the mid.
It does look like a bucket or a crock pot or something.
Looks like a lawyer's box,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right, so here's mid server.
Yeah.
Is it not? Do I not set it on the server record itself?
Yeah, I thought you did.
And maybe this reorganized. So anyway, look for applications. There you go. The bottom. On the nav bar.
Application.
Okay. All right. This thing right here.
Okay, so orchestration as your mid in there. That's what I was looking for. You can also set the one for all, so you'll, you can use both of them.
Let's go ahead and do that. Shoot, I'm going to have to do it from the. All right, let's just do that just to take a variable away.
Oh, you're in a different scope.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Right. So you updated that. I just wanted to make sure that that was there so we didn't try to run a workflow and it fail.
Right.
So there you go.
Go ahead and set myself to global for the purpose of this. Set this. As you can tell, I lost my developer instance over the holidays, like so many of us did. So,
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. So now we've got that.
Wait, was there a thinning of the herd or something?
No, just
Now
like
every-
a week where you didn't log into anything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
every
Oh,
Christmas
right.
we're gonna lose, especially when it falls the way it did, where most people were off for 2 weeks. There's a
Mhm.
good chance if you don't
Right.
take extraordinary measures, you're gonna lose your instance. So,
Right. Okay. So now we got that set up. I wanted to make
Oh.
sure that it was set up as the default mint server.
Okay. All right. So now we're on the instance, right? Now we want to make sure that we can do this via PowerShell on the actual instance itself, right? Or on the
Right.
actual Windows machine.
Right. So right click on that one and you run it as administrator. So that way you make sure you have rights and stuff. Should be able to, can you not right click on it? If you can't, just open it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's under more. Yeah, run as administrator.
All right.
Security. Yes. All right. So there yeah, you have it. So what we want to do first, right, is run Skype.
All right. So I'm just going to try, and let's just be naive this first time. Can I just type Skype? I don't know anything about paths. I don't know anything on here. It's not complaining about the path.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yes, it is. Yes,
yeah.
it is.
So you want to
All
go find the path for it, of course.
All right. Let's see.
And you got one of the program files.
Can I do, and I need not only like if I do, can I get the path from this, the command line path?
Yeah, try hold the your alt key and right click on it maybe. Sometimes you get like a show in Explorer, so go under more. Open file location. There you go.
All
So there's your path. So if you click up in the top, you'll get the path.
Okay. So if I just from PowerShell do this.
That's a path to the shortcut though, not to the exe.
Right click, yeah, right click on the shortcut. Open file location. And it should be a Skype and type SKY in there.
Okay, but yeah. All right,
okay.
So Control X, and then am I gonna have to do some? I'm gonna have to change the properties of this to let me paste. Click at it. I guess not. All right.
Just
So-
right click. Right
Okay.
click. There you go. And then to put /Skype.exe. Do you already have it running?
I do. Let's go ahead and kill it. All right. Skype is not running. Doing this via PowerShell. Boop.
Oh, exit. You may have to
Quotes.
yeah, quotes
to-
or escape some of the stuff.
Let's just quote.
Try
This
doing
is-
it with.
We're an embarrassment to PowerShell at this point.
Can I, if I type run?
I don't know. No, exec something. I don't know.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Isn't this where we had to do that exec program load, whatever the hell it was?
Oh, you had that weird program
Yeah.
from weird
That was-
command.
That was when we're gonna run that remotely. So, well, actually, let's see.
But we were running it on localhost.
Let's try
So
this.
do this. Type CD to that directory. See if you can
Okay.
just CD to it.
All right. So let's CD. Is there a back? Is there a front and back end of the line shortcut? Okay.
All right. So now type /Skype.exe. It might be the other slash. Yeah, you go.
And hey, you can do it as 2 commands. It will
So-
do it as
All right.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to end up doing it as 2 commands. So
Okay.
you're going to, CD to the directory, and then you're going to run it.
Okay. All right. So that part is successful. Now, are we going to back up to the instance?
Yeah, so let's do this. Yeah, so we need to go back to the instance and make a workflow.
Okay.
Josh is saying we should have been able to put an ampersand before the string. Not sure which string.
Oh, maybe that's what I was looking for, an ampersand.
All right. So let's do workflow.
Yeah, try that real quick. Maybe we can get this down to 1. So
Okay.
go back to your command window, and you got Skype closed. So yeah, change that. That right there. Go put an
Okay.
ampersand in front of it.
I tried
Nope.
Control A.
With
That
the
does not
quotes?
take me to the. Let's do. All right. Let's try that. What happens?
There you go.
Right on. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for the suggestion.
Thanks, Josh.
All right. What are the odds?
I really hate the cut and paste in a Windows window. It makes no sense.
All right. Okay. So let's do a new workflow. Let's just call it LC HH, and I can pick global, right?
Yeah, you should be able to type global in there. Yep.
Okay, let's just do that for now. And
I tell it run change the run to none because you're just gonna run it manually or call it.
okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if this version of ServiceNow is different from the one I've been playing with, but when I had a PowerShell
Mhm.
custom command, every time I went to open it, it would clear out the command I was building.
Okay.
So just hit the plus at the top. It'll ask you what do you want, and you want a PowerShell,
Okay.
and we can build the activity, and you can try it before we actually add it to your workflow.
Okay.
call
So
it-
this is,
You can call it simple as open Skype, yeah, something like that.
let's do that. All right.
Oops. There's an Y in there if you care.
I barely care, but just enough. All right.
Open skip.
Open Skipper.
All right,
All
so I would. Okay, just for this purpose, you don't have to do it, but I do stuff like I'll pass in like the IP number for the mid server in case it changes. So I'll have an activity that looks up the IP number and passes it in to the command, because on the next one it's going to ask you the IP for the mid server.
Okay.
If there's any options that you want to pass along that you think you're going to change and pass into the command, we would want to add them here. But just for now, maybe we don't have to.
What we might want to do, because ultimately, let's go ahead and let's say, let's just do it here. I may not use it right now, but let's add an input, which is
Hit the plus over on the right hand side.
the list of Skype usernames.
Oh, okay.
So that we could, if there's I believe that there's a command line switch to call, and then we could vary that,
Mhm.
and then based on some information that's in the record, we could have the Skype usernames actually in there so that it opens Skype and initiates the call all at the same time.
Sure.
We'll just call it that. We'll assume in here. In fact, let's even CSV. So we'll just take the one, instead of joining and etc. We'll just take the one like already. And actually, I'm not 100% sure if you do how you do multiple ones. Call to. You may not even be able to do multiples. So we'll just do it that way. We'll call it username CSV. If you can do that, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So
don't make it mandatory. I mean, you can just use it later.
Correct. All right. Target host. And how do you specify just run it on the mid server? Essentially, I'm saying local host.
Okay,
How
so
do
let's go. Let's go look up the IP number. So go to your mid server tab up there, and
Why
you're going to
did
want
it
to
do
go
that
to
by
your.
IP number? That seems a bit wacky.
I know. I had some trouble with trying to put in a host name. So I mean, if you had a host
Well,
name, I
even
guess.
a host name, you should be able to point to this reference record. It's got all the other stuff. I mean, why isn't it a reference field that says use this mid server, store the sys ID of that record, and go to town?
I don't know. We know somebody that's actually part of that product team now. So go back. Yeah, go back to your mid servers.
So how do you, why don't we do this? Why don't we also just say if we need to know the IP,
Mm-hmm.
let's include that here.
Hit continue.
And continue.
Okay.
All right.
So drag that IP over there to target host. There you go. And I wouldn't worry about the input, the names yet. So, okay. So you're going to run. I'm trying to think if it's going to run on that machine. We can try it two ways. Let's try it with your ampersand, just popping that in there.
Okay. And boop. Am I going to be able to?
Usually for invoke command, which is what I sent you before, if you had a mid server here and you're going to talk to a target machine, it's going to remotely kick off something. So that was that invoke command, and you specify the target IP, and it would go talk to that machine. You'd have to build a credential, to get it to start. So I'm hoping that because your mid server is running as an administrative user, you should be able to do this, and it should run it. So at the bottom, you want to use mid server service account.
Okay.
And it knows that you need PowerShell capabilities, so I think you're good there. And hit continue. So at this point, we need the IP number because you can actually test this just to see if it kicks off.
Okay, so we just want to get the IP. Can I get that from here?
No, go to servers. Mid servers.
Mid.
Yeah, right. Mid servers.
All right.
Open that one up, and I think you're going to want that 10 dot one at the top there.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting in that that is the internal one.
Yeah.
How is ServiceNow talking through the 10 dot network?
Well, remember that it doesn't talk to the mid server. The mid server reaches back to the instance.
Yeah, keep in mind that you're going to basically send your command through that tunnel from ServiceNow to the mid server, and the mid server is going to run it.
The mid server is pulling things out of my queue. I'm not pushing to the 10 dot. That's really just a identifier.
Once it's there, that's where it's going to.
It's like I'm thinking of this in terms of somebody's like making a TCP connection to this, but that's not actually what's happening.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to test inputs. Right?
Yes. You want to
let me save before I do that.
Save it. Oh, watching your mouse is spazzing me out. I keep trying to follow your mouse along.
Wait, I thought you said because it does that thing where it gets big every now and then. I guess that was on the Windows. Okay, so IP, that's the only one I really need. I may not have saved that other one because I noticed it went away.
Hey, before you run it, make sure you close Skype. I can't remember if you did or not.
I think I did, but let's double check. It's closed.
There you go.
Yeah, it is closed.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to do this. And then is it going to run immediately, or do I have to do another step? Is it running right now?
Yeah,
it'll take a few seconds. Because the mid server checks back about
it's doing its thing right now. So,
all right, so it's under the hood. This guy's right into the queue. Tried credential status equals success.
Success.
All right, if we come over to here,
I don't see it.
How long? Like, what's the polling interval from the mid server side back to that ACC queue?
Like 5 or 6 seconds. It's not long.
Okay. All right.
I'm almost tempted to try the invoke command just to see if we can make it. We
Sure.
have to actually run it on there if it has to kind of talk back to itself.
Okay, let's do it. I'm willing to try anything. That's what this is for. All right.
So under your command, just push that down one. Do invoke command. Invoke dash command, excuse me.
Invoke dash command. Is this case sensitive or it doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters. Dash computer name.
Dash computer name.
And you put your IP.
Any chance I still have it in there? Oh my goodness. That's surprising.
All right. I don't know if we need to specify credentials, so let's skip that and see if it works. So dash script block.
Dash. All one word or hyphenated?
Yeah, all one word. Script block.
Okay.
And hit a curly brace, and then put a in curly after your command there.
All right. And do I want to get rid of the ampersand? Probably I do, right?
No, leave it.
Leave the ampersand.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'm telling. Okay, so I'm telling the mid server to invoke the command that is this.
Yes.
Which includes that thing.
Yeah. So you can also just to point something out here, you can build basically build a script in a variable and push the variable over that has a script in it. It'll basically, it's like once it builds this thing, it'll take that whatever's in that variable and make it, print it out basically, and you end up with commands or whatever you put in there. So you could.
So what I can do in this command is I can look and see is that list of names empty or not empty. And if it is empty, put a command line parameter on here. And if it's not, don't use the command line parameter.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so I'm going to save and do the test inputs again. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. You're right. And you can do that outside of you.
You know, I'm crazy. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, drag that over. Right.
Oh, it just disappeared.
What the huh?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you this.
Is this the thing you were talking about?
Yeah. So go back.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah. Hit continue and then go check your inputs. Make sure it didn't delete it.
It's
What
gone.
I'm telling you.
You were only borrowing it.
All right.
Okay. So save that before.
Before anything else weird happens.
Actually, the other day, I may have been at fault, but I had an update set. I was like, okay, I need to make some changes, and I pulled it up, and there's a couple of custom PowerShells, PowerShell commands, and a workflow. Well, I opened up the workflow, made a change, went to save it, and it said, sorry, you can't find my two PowerShell activities. Yet the workflow worked. It showed them as being unpublished. So I had to go dig through, find the history table, and basically build them out again so I could save it. It was crazy.
All right. So I just went back to verify that there was not some kind of crazy delay, that we, in fact, still don't have Skype running. So I'm going to go back to test inputs. Save that. That's nice, since it's no longer in my clipboard. All right. Hit OK. So I'm a little curious.
We have some theories in YouTube of why this may be giving us problems, because we're running the WinRM client cannot process the request.
Yeah, we need to.
We may be running
the connection back to itself needs credentials, so we can build that out if you'd like.
But the mid server is running as a service, right? And Dave is logged in as somebody else, so we get two different parties involved with this.
Right, and the mid server is trying to connect back to itself to run this command. That's why we're having a credential issue.
So the service, so forgive me, guys, I'm not. So the service is running as an admin or something like admin, right?
System, probably. Yep.
And then my shell session is running as whatever user, the VM user. Is that what we're talking about?
Right.
Oh, so we need to run as my logged in user.
Right. All right, I'm going to send you Do you want me to send it to you via Skype chat or something? Because we can build you a credential real quick.
Sure.
Skype chat, or you want me to email it to you, or?
Why don't you Skype chat it to me?
All right. Let's see if I can do that.
But don't we also need to change the run as on the service?
That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can find that in this darn thing. All right. The hardest part of this whole day might be finding the chat you just sent me. All right. Okay, I got it. All right.
All right. So you're going to put that above your invoke command, and then we're going to add the credential switch for that invoke command.
Okay.
All right. So obviously change your stuff there. So what's the password?
So this is the password of the actual, this is the password of the logged in user, like the desktop user?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay to give away?
You know, this is a disposable VM, so I don't know that I care. So give me a minute. Cover me while I go into the crypt.
Watch those stairs.
Watch out for the crypt keeper.
Now the test will be, surely I did save this earlier.
Don't call me Shirley.
All right. Google
All that covered.
Compute. All right. And so.
Wow.
All right.
Hey, and then you're right below there, you're going to change username to the right username.
Okay.
And then down in the inside the invoke command, you're going to put dash credential. And it should be the mycreds variable.
All right.
All right, save that and lob it over the fence.
Now this is definitely like this right here. This is some cargo cult stuff because I'm looking at it and this looks like magic to me. So all right.
It is, Dave.
All right, let's do this. I think we actually came back faster last time. Connecting to authentication scheme is different from Kerberos. Must be used, or the destination machine must be added to the trusted hosts configuration setting.
That is equals question mark. I like that.
Is this window? This looks like a Windows error because it's got that crazy H result number.
Yeah, use that win. Do that. See that winrm dash dot command right in the middle.
WinRM command.
Is use WinRM command to configure trusted host.
WinRM if the
third line.
There you go, right there. You had your cursor right there.
Okay.
Hold on, go back.
Configure trusted hosts. Okay.
Yeah, let's use that. Let's go check it out because I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't used orchestration to kick off a desktop app. Usually I've had it to start a service or something like that. Just do
not that. Is it just
run?
WinRM?
Just hit the run, the start button.
Down here.
This used to be easy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and I want to do run as admin again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's a brand new VM. Like
Casey says, avoid WinRM. So painful.
All right.
Wonderful.
That did nothing. So what if I type it in here?
Great.
Hey, just curious, what is the IP number of this machine right now? Is it the 10 dot? You do IP config?
I do that for PowerShell?
Yeah, IP config. Yeah, 02. Yep.
So you were checking to see if it was doing something to some crazy other machine?
Well, I just wanted to make sure it was talking to itself, and then it's obviously complaining about not being able to run when remote commands.
And so if we go back to the instance, the complaint that it's giving here is not, it's not that it can't find the machine, it's that
it must be added to trusted host configuration.
Trusted host configuration setting. WinRM configure trusted hosts. To be honest, I didn't see anything in here about trusted hosts.
No, it's probably a get something, set something.
Do winrm.cmd, see if it comes up with a GUI or something. Nope.
All right. To Google right quickly. WinRM trusted hosts. It's already in the autocomplete. I am not the first one to do this. Enable and use remote commands in PowerShell. Let's bring this over right quick. WinRM service, get service WinRM to configure. So I don't need to enable PS remoting, right? Because that's not what I'm doing.
It is PowerShell remoting. That's exactly what we're doing.
But
so, yeah, in your window, type get -service -winrm -service WinRM. Yep. Yeah, just in your window there. Right click.
I actually right click.
Just type get -service.
Get -service WinRM. Get -service WinRM. Just
okay.
Run.
All right. So go back to your thing and enable PS remoting
-force. Enable -PS remoting -force. Okay. All right. Should I just try it again?
Go look at that blog just to make sure we're not missing anything else.
In many cases, it'll be works with remote computers. Blah 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 blah. Tell you what, just for just as a fun test, let's try it right here without changing anything else.
Go for it.
Is that sufficient to just get it there? 3802. That's what we're talking about. Enable PS remoting. No.
So add that host. Let's add that host to it.
All right. And
by IP?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because that's how we addressed it.
And where now? Finding that one thing in my... Right,
excuse me while I take a sip of my double IPA water.
All right. Let me see if I can... So
that's good. Oh, that's so good.
All right. I've made this too tall.
I'm telling you, Windows stupid.
Not paste.
You can
paste is not.
Oh,
yeah. Do I not have paste enabled in my properties?
Well, there's a theory in the YouTube chat that says we might just be able to solve this by getting rid of the dash computer name part.
Okay. Well, let's try that. Let's take that. I'm going to take that to heart. Let's try that. So that the dash computer name is actually harmful is what they're saying.
Yeah, because then it's saying, well, I don't have that in my trusted list, so I'm not going to let you run it.
So would it also? So it wouldn't need the credential in that case. Let's go ahead and what's the? Is this a comment in this commands window?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, we'll find out in 1 second.
Yeah, I think
it's trying to run a PowerShell command. So what's a PowerShell comment?
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this.
The script's going to fail.
One of these two. Hopefully it won't work. I guess if it's not, that's not actually going to do anything because if it's not that one, let's assume it's Windows E and uses the, isn't that the Windows comment?
Well, if it was a batch
the-
file, it'd be a rem.
The octothorpe. The octothorpe there is.
Okay. All right, let's save it. This is where, and again, this is one of those things where like the number of possible permutations here is can get amazing. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there is now, all right. Now there's another issue.
Success. Okay.
Which is.
We still need to do the run as on that side.
Yeah, because what if I open it as the account the mid server is running, but not the account I'm logged in as?
Right.
So actually,
hey, do this. Look at your tasks that are running and see if Skype's running in the background. Just right click on the menu bar and type and select Task Manager.
See.
Do not see. Do I need to do a show everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
it is running.
It's running 4 times. It's just.
I've been really good at this.
All right. So now what we need to do is coerce that into this user. Is the next step, right?
Yeah.
So it's running. So we have been executing it a couple times. Can I kill that from here?
Sure, why not? Thank you for using Skype. Thank you for using thank you for using Skype. Thank you for using Skype.
I posted this earlier. Like I created the user for this new Skype account, and they presented a CAPTCHA that I could not solve. I could not solve the first 5 of them they sent my way. I had to keep trying. Like, all right, you will keep out the bad actors because I don't know who could possibly solve this at all. Okay, so now we come back over here. Now what we want to do is, are we going to do that in the script block? How are we going to, from this PowerShell, tell it to run as someone?
I would change the service on Windows.
Does it have to be administrator, or it can be, you're saying run the mid server as the same user that's logged in?
Run as a different user. Hold on, I'm going to look at it right here. Oh, here you go. So, this is start a process. I don't know if I want that.
Actually, I should have left that open because that might be helpful. Just in case just so that we know whether it happens again.
Yeah, bring up our service manager thing.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. Go back to your PowerShell.
On the instance or in
your I'm sorry, ServiceNow. Yeah, the instance.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to think who. Okay, so go ahead and comment all that out. Those 3 lines.
Okay.
Up at the top.
Yeah.
3.
Now go up above, or it doesn't matter really. Wherever. Type start dash process.
Start dash process.
Okay, space, and then cut and paste the your command there, the C:\\. I assume you need quotes.
I'm gonna assume that
not the
ampersand.
ampersand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then put dash credential, and then you're gonna, just like you have at the top, that's calling it out. That dash credential micreds.
That is why I did not delete it.
I know, I do that all the time. I leave so much data laying around when I'm working on stuff. Good thing it didn't cost anything.
All right. Okay. We're gonna try that. Is that anything else I need to? Any more parameters I need to give?
Give it a shot.
All right. I'll save it. And so I'm still passing that input, but at this point, it's actually beside the point because we're not using that at all. We're kind of under a misapprehension at the first point that we needed to tell it the name, but in fact, telling it the IP was actually harmful because I guess then we went from access is denied That is interesting.
And the user is Dave.
Let me double check. Could be. Is there a command line who am I equivalent in Windows?
I don't know. Click on the start menu. Yeah, click on the little profile icon to the right, left. Yeah, right there. Up. Well, there you go, Dave.
Dave. That's what I thought.
Is the password right?
I cannot testify to that in the court of law, but it is the one that I have saved in my crypt. So
the other option is bring up services.msc and change the way the service runs.
Wait a minute. I do have one more suggestion. So go back to the instance.
Okay.
And yeah, close that out. Now, you can put the start process and put the start process stuff inside the
invoke command script block.
Yeah. Try to put it inside the script block,
including start process.
Yeah. So uncomment all three of those, and then that middle line you're going to replace with that right there.
Like this.
Yep.
You're blowing my mind, brother. So what start process, that is, so at this point, I'm doing an invoke command in a script block. I've got another different PowerShell command. Is that right?
He's gone Inception on us. It's a script in a script.
That's what I say. Scriptception. Scriptception.
Inscription.
Well, it wasn't hard, but we have way exceeded anything I really actually understand at this point. So, so this is mostly my like deep unfamiliarity with PowerShell. Yeah. So now the nice thing is we're really, really close. And if there were some way to do this, so I think Chuck's suggestion is actually it seems like it would be workable, right? If that thing ran as me, if the mid server process was running as me, then it would be should be in the same session because that's who's invoking it. Mm-hmm. Like when we give the unqualified thing. So
might have an issue interacting with the desktop, but we don't know yet. Let's try this first.
That's something else I thought about too. I don't know.
I guess what we're saying is we don't know for 100% fact that what we're trying to do is even possible. Is that what you're saying? That
yeah, I mean,
no matter what we do, this might not, because this is way outside the use cases of what people do.
Yeah, see, I've always ran headless apps,
Right.
So this is, yeah.
Okay. And it would be interesting data if it turns out that it's just not doable. I mean,
just use Linux.
that's not impossible. So that might be an option. All right. So trying this cannot be run due to error. All right. So we got about 10 minutes-ish left. Let's take Chuck's suggestion. So now what do I do to change the user the mid server runs as?
Services.msc.
Yeah, you're going to open the services. You can basically stop it and change.
Services.msc? Is that what you want? Okay.
And we should see the little control panel thing come up. Go find your mid server.
Yeah, search for ServiceNow. You just start typing it. It'll.
ServiceNow mid server.
Yep,
this thing right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Open that up. Should be a log on tab. There we go.
You want to stop it, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I would stop it first.
Okay.
Which is under the... Hey, you still remember how to do your basic Windows stuff. This part hasn't changed since about 1997.
Yeah, yes. It looks like Windows. If it looks like Windows NT, I'll be able to do
it. This is my pet peeve with Microsoft. It's like they go, okay, we rewrote everything from the ground up, but yet all the dialogues look the same as they did 10 years ago. You can't tell me somebody didn't think this is a bad design and there you go.
Is that right there sufficient?
Maybe.
Give it a try. What do we got to lose?
We have nothing.
Actually, it's not a checkbox on the other option. That's what worries me.
Actually, you know what? It might be that might have something to do with it. So hit OK. I would go back and change your invoke command to kind of what we had previously, because remember
Okay.
it ran it in the background.
Right. All right. Well, so let me start this server. Okay. So now here's the problem. We've done it about 5 different ways. Do you remember which is the one that I should be changing it back to?
Yeah. Well, you just got to
The-
comment that one, uncomment that one, and
This
yep.
one.
Yep.
So unqualified, we're not telling anything about the user. All we've really done is now we've said mid-server running over on the remote system. You mid-server, you can interact with the desktop. And that's the only change. All right. And I'm going to give this a minute. I don't know. Mid-server coming back up should be fast, right?
Yeah, it should be up by now.
I guess I could.
Did we need to restart it when we changed that option?
There you go. Up. No.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We stopped it and then started it back.
We stopped it, changed it, and restarted it.
Cool.
Says it is up. Okay.
Which is why all those fields were checked blue.
All right. I feel good about this.
Roll the dice.
Doink.
I'll roll 7 at once. I forgot to take them out of the bag.
All right.
Okay.
So we did not get a
You
failure.
know what? You know what? Wait a minute. Let's just stop right now and go away and don't even check. Just say it worked.
Oh, this is you want the you
Good
want
night,
the
everybody.
Craig
That's
wants to have the lady or the tiger ending.
Craig doesn't understand the meaning of a double blind test.
It's like the last episode of Sopranos. We're not going to actually let's just play Don't Stop Believing and then
Pull the gun
fade to
and
black.
go to- pull the gun and fade to black.
There you go, everybody. Thanks for watching.
All right. So
See it on there.
it's not there, but if we look in Task Manager, we see Skype. So now we actually went a little bit backwards in that. Oh, look,
No, it's there, but I
have a
don't
Skype
see
running.
it interacting.
it is not
Double click
interacting
on
with
it.
this.
See if you can open it.
One of those may be a child process of the other. Don't know yet. There's not enough details.
Hey, go to properties and see if he says who it's running as. Maybe details. Get the details tab there.
Security.
Can you go to security?
Nothing there.
Thanks. Look at the other one, maybe.
Security. All application
Detail.
packages.
Yeah. All right. Here's. Let's go for broke, and then this can be the last thing we do here. So this is actually the fact that it is invoking means that really we're achingly close. It's just a little matter of detail at this point. And I'm going to actually assume. I'm going to assume that you're right because you notice that they have radically different memory footprints. That says to me that they're not 2 copies of the same thing.
Yeah, one's probably the starter kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Kill that one, and look, they both. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me look at the Skype, and there's something in the command line where you can, if you do call to, let's over, call to name or phone number.
Oh, you want to add a switch to it? And
Yes, let's add a switch to our invoke command and then just let's see, even though the Skype's not on the desktop, if it actually calls one of us.
Okay.
Who would, I'll have to
Call
double check.
Josh.
Oh, that's the funny thing is I don't know anyone's Skype handle.
You know what?
I don't
Have
even
it
know my own Skype
Have it
handle.
called Josh. That's what you need to do.
All right.
No.
And yet, the funny thing is, I don't actually know. I'm gonna have to look up Josh's. All
Let's
right,
set a
well,
workflow
I'm just
that's-
checked
that's-
out Tomasi. So I mean, if you want to throw in first out last.
yeah,
in.
let's do Chuck.Tomasi because it's one
Yeah,
that we know.
we'll set a workflow that runs every 10 minutes and calls Josh.
That big comedy for us, not so big for Josh. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna pass in
/call to : and a name.
Josh call to colon.
Actually, you want to use one of us because so we can know what it's working or not.
Yeah, that's true. It would be funny, but all right.
He said call to colon.
Call to colon. Is that the right? Call to name or phone number and no space.
I don't say probably no space,
No.
which you have one in there.
Okay. And that other thing that I was saying about the command, like a list of them, it looks like maybe that doesn't work. So you may only be able to do one, and then you'd have basically a captain that would.
Yeah, and you can start adding people.
Does a group have a name though? I mean, can you call a group?
Possibly.
Because when we fire this up, we say call live coding happy hour, and it automatically calls all three of us.
Excuse me.
Yeah, possibly. All right, we're gonna try this. We will see, and double check. Come back over here. So one way or another, this is the last roll of the dice. We're gonna see. We've got no Skype running.
Unless Skype goes, Chuck's already busy with a.
You know what?
Even
if this
so,
does not
you
work,
should still get something.
I'm gonna work on this and figure it out because I want to know how it worked. I want to know how to do it now.
Well, that actually makes me
do not disturb.
Yeah, that actually makes we might really be. I'm trying to think outside of something like this. Like there just aren't that many use cases where you actually want like desktop access.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of cases, it would be harmful. So we're really doing something kind of weird and unusual in.
Possibly insecure.
Possibly, yes. Possibly dangerous. Possibly harmful.
Yeah. Right. Oh.
It's not naked. Oh, did I do the wrong?
Not a recognized
call to.
No, it looks like it tried to understand it as another command.
It sure does.
Let's take a look at where that was placed in the command. If it was outside a quote or curly brace or something, it may have something to do with it.
Still inside.
I thought it was inside of.
Yeah, okay, it's right next to it. Yeah.
Call to. And I dismissed the error. So
you want to try running it right from the PowerShell window just to make sure that actually works?
Sure, let's do that.
When in doubt, try it at the low level.
Am I in? Where am I? Okay.
Not recognized as the name of a commandlet.
Put a backslash in front of the forward slash.
Backslash in front of the.
No. No.
Are you trolling me? Oh! Here's the deal. We don't want that in the. I don't think we want that inside the quotes because.
Oh, okay.
It's interpreting that.
Oh, it's interpreting it as part of the command. I knew.
What we want is.
Yeah.
That.
Try that. Skype. Welcome, Dave. I don't see any effort of trying to call me on this end nor that end.
Microsoft probably ditched that command switch last time they updated or something.
It's all new code written from the bottom up.
Yeah. They finally updated a dialogue.
No, they just forgot to put some old code back in.
Let's do this. This might also be let's do this now. And let me do one more thing and take this out as a variable. That maybe the problem is
not having Chuck Tomasi in there.
Correct. Let me do I have to do add to group? I was trying to do be a friend. Did I do that? Did you get some kind of invite from me just a second ago?
Message him. Type a message in there. No mutual contacts.
What I'm trying to do is make you in my user list.
Right click on his name.
Tuesday was Rob
Right.
Greenlee's birthday.
Wouldn't that? This seems like this should be.
Yeah, click on that and then go search for him again. Can you not right click on add?
Add to favorites. Pretty much the only thing I can do there. All right, but did you? And you got the chat from me, right, Chuck? Or you never got it?
Well, hang on. Dave wants to be your friend on Skype. Accept.
Say that.
We just needed to connect first.
Okay,
Okay.
we are now connected. All right, and I'm going to do this just to verify that you get a incoming call from this account.
I do.
Okay. All right, now we're going to delete. We're going to close that down.
Make sure it's gone off the taskbar.
A task mangler.
Yeah, it's
Gone.
gone.
All right. Now we're going to come over
Fix
here.
that up in your scripty script.
All right, so we'll do. It's breaking at a funny place. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll see if this now comes up and calls you from here. If it doesn't, we're going to stop here because that's kind of the place to hold up. Chuck is unavailable, but that's good enough. All right.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah.
It did in fact work. So now we're just going to come back over and fix that on the other side. I guess we're not going to know.
Are you set as do not disturb, Chuck?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm open because I got that other call came anyway.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Well, we'll try this and we'll just see if you get a boop boop. And if not, we'll call it good. We just want to move the quote mark here.
Yep.
So this is, so we're basically there, except for one detail here.
I'd leave a little space in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be for that /.
Did I not have
There
a
you
space? I guess, okay.
Good.
All right.
Hey, what do we got to lose?
All right.
Hey, worst case, you could put that in a batch file and just call the batch file.
Yeah. I'm willing to do I'm willing to do a lot of hackery here.
Oh,
PowerShell. It's an XML payload.
Updated with fallback logger, blah, blah, blah.
Start called undefined. Update interval, starting unexplicit update check.
All right. This is, in fact, let's try one more thing and then we'll call it done. Let's do what you suggested before. Make sure that we're not losing that / in the process here.
Where did the last 10 minutes go? I just looked and it was like 20 after.
Every time you get real close to the end, like every time you get to that, let's get this and then we'll be done. That time
accelerates.
All right. This is really okay. I'm going to call this I hate to end on failure, but sometimes it happens.
I'm gonna practice and get this. I'm gonna do this. I go look at your instance just to check it didn't do anything. Oh, see, look, error message. Call to Chuck Tomasi is not recognized. Oh, well.
Oh, sorry. Let me go back to that.
You think
this
is still running a system and system doesn't know who I am?
Well, this is definitely the interpreting.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This is the same problem we had before.
I would consider making a batch file and calling the batch file.
So just calling.
You want to do?
So, we're in overtime. I'm okay with that. So making this whole thing a batch file, and we can simplify it because we really only need this one thing. We don't need the credentials, right?
Yeah, you just need the command. Yeah, you just need the command and put your batch file in like /, / so you know exactly how to get to it.
Okay.
So you're going to do invoke command. Well, yeah. Well, you don't even need the invoke command and all that. You just need the /.
Now the question will be, can I find a text editor on a Windows machine?
WordPad. Open WordPad. WordPad.
Right. You said it, not me. All right.
Space that in
WordPad.
Yeah. It's a show. Okay, it's a show. Yeah. So you don't need the ampersand and all that stuff either, because we're not
in
it
PowerShell.
from.
We're actually in Yeah. So.
Probably don't
All
need
right.
quotes either.
So file, save that as a plain text file.
Not a .bat.
Plain text document. I'll call it a .bat. I'll call it.
Yeah. Put it on put it on C drive.
Skype
Put it in
.bat.
that, and you want to put it right on the C drive, so we don't have to guess where stupid paths and all that.
Can I pick C drive from here?
Go to
This PC.
My PC. Click the little arrow. Yeah, C colon.
There it is. That's it.
There you go. Now save it right there. Yeah, save it in the Dave folder, whatever. Okay, so it's C colon /users /Dave /Skype.bat. Oh, you want to add the.
If I add the .bat, it's probably going to add a text. I'll probably have to change it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Now the question is, where in the heck is that?
All right, open up your Explorer, the little folder right there.
Okay.
Go to this PC, C colon.
Documents, is that right?
Nope.
Or
C, double click that guy.
Go to, double click
users.
that. Go into users.
Dave.
And Dave, and you'll see your Skype.bat.
Windows.
So
batch file.
right click on it.
Nice.
Did it save it right?
Yeah, it did. It says Windows batch file in the type.
Okay.
So let's do. If I do this.
So copy your. Yeah.
Yep. I'm having real. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. All right.
Just type it. You can just type it in. C colon
Okay.
users Dave Skype.bat.
Users Dave Skype.bat.
It's like I tried to call.
Missed call.
That was earlier.
Yeah, didn't actually make the call, but good enough.
Yeah.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to invoke this from the PowerShell, right?
Right.
And hope that it comes up on the desktop.
Or something. Anything. So I'm going to do the invoke command, and I'm just going to invoke this.
Yeah.
Right?
So you want to put ampersand. Yeah, try that. And I might close it in quotes just to. I don't know. I guess it don't matter. Never mind. Nope. Try it.
Let's do the quotes because we know that. Let's just take one more variable off the table. All right. Just inputs. All right. This really is the very last thing. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, no. Did I not close it over here?
Skype? I thought you did.
Did I close it?
Yeah, I thought you did too.
Okay. All right. It is closed. Let's see what the instance told us.
Still
working? Still working?
Still thinking. Is he going to keep running?
You don't have permissions to run this
well,
user's batch file.
No, the batch file is going to run the command. The command it's not going to exit until Skype exits. We're not running something in the background, though.
All right, let's go to the
This
task.
feels very synchronous to me.
Go to the task manager.
Oh, hey, look at that.
I'm going to assume actually one of these. I'm going to assume that one of these. Well, you know what?
Belongs to the last one.
Yeah.
I would use the last one. Actually, yeah, use the one with the most memory.
No, kill the one with the most memory. It's taking up all the space.
Sorry.
All right.
Actually, in your batch file, you may want to put the ampersand so it'll run it in the background or run it. I don't know. Is that a PowerShell thing or is that? I think it's a PowerShell.
I think it's a PowerShell thing. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Okay. Now we'll come over here. We'll just watch the task manager. Look at that.
Hey, it's running somewhere out there.
All right. So we are 98% of the way there. It is opening. It is not choking on the command line parameter. It's not interacting with the desktop. So this, I think I'm going to experiment with Chuck's idea and get the Windows mid server
running as Dave.
Yeah, running as the Dave user, and then go from there. Because I can kind of understand like all the things that you might want to do. In general, it would not make sense to be that user, but in this case it actually does make sense, right? Because it may actually be harmful for this mid server in this particular case to be running as admin, because we're doing this weird unusual stuff. So
yeah, and I'm seeing examples with the invoke command, computer name, and then start process notepad.exe.
Mm-hmm.
So something's...
Yeah. Right. So this is really we're almost there. This is really just the last mile.
It's close.
Just the last mile of getting this thing actually on the desktop.
Yep.
And so you guys might, depending on this might be my Friday night, is calling you guys on Skype from this thing. So actually, the nice thing is if we're hung up, I can call myself and I can just hear it ring on my phone. So I will actually know if this happens.
Yeah.
So I can play with this on my own.
You know what? So, I'm going to block out next week on 4:30.
My God, I had said this is the last time because I was so, like I said, I really was stressing this hard. It was really
never say never, Dave.
Never say done when it comes to software either.
Yeah.
Right. Am I doing something wrong in OBS, or you both have your cameras off? It's only my face.
We both have our cameras off.
Okay.
I turn mine on.
All right.
There we are.
Wrap up. Sweet Baby Java. I don't remember what I give it. Today, it's like a 5. I need it so bad. Let's give it a 4.5. I really do enjoy this. I've had a couple of the chocolate peanut butter porters. Actually, this might be my favorite. Like the Liquid Bliss was my favorite for a while. I think this is even better.
What was the Sweet Baby Jeebus I've had is pretty good.
This is, I think, the same as that. It's just the espresso bean infused.
Mm-hmm. I've actually had that one too. They're both good.
And did you actually go get one, Chuck?
I did. I reached in the refrigerator and I had one of two choices. It was either a hard root beer or a Corona Light. I chose the Corona. And that always reminds me of going snorkeling in the ocean, and it's the first thing they hand you when you get back onto the catamaran. So it's got good memories, but without any snorkeling, it just doesn't taste the same. I'm giving it like a 3 1/4.
Well, right. I'm either going to go get a Sweetwater 420 or some bourbon. So,
well, there you go. Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. So we may not be entirely out of this topic yet. We're so close. We're so close. So this is honestly, we've expanded my we've expanded my knowledge of orchestration by infinity, because it basically started at 0, right? So
huge thanks to the community that was contributing today too. This is some of the better interaction we were getting.
Is there anything any last follow-ups? Let's see if I have.
Someone was asking what the hell we're trying to do, so explain that real quick.
Yes, what we're trying to do is actually kick off all the behind-the-scenes stuff for this very broadcast. It's extremely meta.
It says, and you may even have more permissions in Windows. There may be antivirus things going on. We could be in for more excitement.
Well, we're making something happen, so I think we're there. I mean, as far as Skype starting, so. It's just trying to get it to start in a sense where it's 1, interacting with the desktop, and 2, calling out.
And if we get the call out working, I'm not so sure I care about the desktop. I mean, it would be a little bit weird to not be able to fix it. I mean, it would definitely make this whole thing a black box, right? Because it means I can't RDP in and change anything. So we're kind of at the mercy of that. But if it's robust enough, I might be willing to do that anyway. So we'll see. So anyway, what we're trying to do is, as you see, we're trying to make my life easier. That's what we're trying to do. This is the ServiceNow story, right? We're trying to automate a thing that I'm doing by hand. So
That's right.
that is what orchestration is for. So.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody who watches this real time. Thank you, everybody who watches later. And partner in absentia. Bye, Josh.
Bye, Josh.
Have a moment of silence for Josh. He said he'll show up when he can, but sprint planning. So there you go. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you.